ولا تدع مع الله إلها آخر لا إله إلا هو كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه له الحكم وإليه ترجعون.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Welcome guys. Today's question is this. What is the meaning of the bosom of the Father? What does that even mean? What is the bosom of the Father? So if you go to John chapter 1 verse 18, and you know me, I don't like talking about the Bible verses, but me, I care about your doctrine. What do you believe by these words? What do you believe by these statements? Then I engage with that. But it's just interesting what I found here. Look at what it says. John chapter 1 verse 18 says, "No man has seen the Father at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him." Okay? So, the only begotten Son is in the bosom of the Father, has declared him. Okay? So some of the early church fathers, they use this verse that when they were asking them questions that, okay, was the Son there before he was generated? You know, they begetting stuff. So, for example, if someone is begotten, okay, let's say a child that is in the womb of his mother, and then you bring the child forth from the mother, okay? So the child was there already, but the child just came out, okay? The child was there. Even, let's just say, the moment the mother was pregnant and ready to give birth, that was the beginning of time. Let's say that was the beginning of time, or that was like, there was never been anybody prior to that. Just imagine an eternal pregnant woman that is about to give birth. The baby was already there, and then the baby came out. I'm just giving an analogy, okay? So some of those church fathers, they were saying, see, if you say that, like the Nicene Creed, let me just read the Nicene Creed for you, and then you will see what I mean. Nicene Creed. Because they were trying to defend what? They are trying to say that, see, the Nicene, the Arians, they were saying the Son at the beginning, okay? They said there was a time the Son was not, okay? Them, they're saying there was a time the Son was not. But these guys, they want to say, no, the Son was already there before. And I'll tell you what it means, okay? When they say the Son was already there before, they mean the Son was already in the bosom of the Father. To just cut this short, but I want to read the Nicene Creed for you. They are saying the Son was already in the bosom of the Father before he was generated. Okay? And those who say, I want to see that part when they say, and those who say something. Where is it, man? This one is not full. I'm looking for the ones that they are saying, see, for those who say that there was a time the Son was not, or that the Son was not from the substance of the Father, all those substance, all those stuff, it makes more sense when I show you where I'm going with this. You will see what I mean. Because, where is this stuff, man? So, they are saying, look at that verse I read for you, John 1:18. The Son, the only begotten Son. By the way, if you have been watching what I've been saying for the past few videos, I'm talking about that. All those Christian terminologies, they have no meaning. My mind was blown when I started checking these things up. On the surface level, they look like they have a meaning. They don't actually have a meaning. I'm serious. What is it begetting? They will tell you begetting is not begetting anymore. Begetting is meaningless. What is eternal generation? Eternal generation, if you really want to know, is meaningless. It's a mystery. Begetting is a mystery. Eternal generation is a mystery. Even that word, the Son, is a mystery. Even the Father is a mystery. All those words that you think they have meaning. Because we already know that if you are a father, you have a son, there's subordination there already. They say, no, it does not the meaning. Then remove the words. Why are you using father and son, confusing us? Why are you confusing us? Why would you use that terminology if you don't want us to infer that there's a subordination going on here? Why are you using father and son? Begetting. All those terms have no meaning. If you really want to know, they will tell you it's Greek and there's another meaning. And by the way, just to be clear, let me show you another. That verse I read for you, John 1:18. Look at what the New International Version says. You know, the other one says, the begotten Son was in the bosom of the Father. Look at what this one says. It says, no one has ever seen God, but God, the one and only, who is at the Father's side, has made him known. So them, they are not saying he's in the bosom of the Father. They are saying he was at the Father's side. You see what I'm telling you? Maybe one day when this Father's side becomes problematic, because people is like, why is the Father not at his own side? Why do you have to be at the Father's side? Some people will start seeing that as some kind of subordination. Any form of subordination, they will panic. They'll be like, whoa, he's at his Father's side. Unbelievable. Why don't they stay on the same place? Maybe they should sit on each other. Because on the Father's side, maybe that's even because the Father says, I'll put you there. Don't worry, I'll make your enemies bow for you or something like this. So they might be like, why can't he just do it himself? Since now he's already in full glory, why does the Father have to do something for him again? They can panic and say, then change this verse also. But that's not what we're talking about today. In the Nicene Creed, it was mainly against this Arius individual. This Arius guy was saying, see, the Son was created. Okay, that's one. And he affirmed most of the things that he affirmed. He was a Trinitarian, but he was a subordinationist. He believed that there's hierarchy in the Trinity, that the Father is superior to the Son and the Holy Spirit. That was his problem. And the Orthodox said, like, no, they are equal. So him is saying that, how can you say they are equal? He's the Son. They're like, nah, those verses like the Father is greater than I. Arius will be like, you see, this is what I'm telling you. They'll be like, yeah, but the Father is greater, but not in the nature. That's where all this stuff started, all this nature stuff. That's when it started. But my question is this: what does it mean for someone to be in the bosom of the Father? Is that supposed to communicate any meaning to us? From what I've seen, no. Sorry, it's not supposed to have any meaning, because the only meaning it has is meaningless to us. For someone to be in the bosom of the Father and then begetting, all those things mean only one thing. That's, let's say you have somebody that was already in the Father. And this will, by the way, I can explore more of this for you that will show you why they will say that the Son is eternal. Because if the Son was already there, and then the begetting part is not creating something new, that's why they are saying he was not from, those that say that he was from not the Father's substance, he was already in the Father. So the Father just took a part of himself and brought it out. So it's not something new. Do you understand? It was already there. It's eternal. To them, it's eternal. So when the Father begets him, then it just came out. It was already there before. If you say it wasn't there before, that means it was from nothing. That's what they were trying to avoid. Arius was saying it's from nothing. Just like us, we are created from nothing. But him, he was given the divine nature. They are saying no. He's not only given the divine nature, he was already in the Father's bosom. Okay, so they will interpret this verse like that. I want to actually see how the Unitarians interpret this verse. Okay, but I think maybe, I don't know what they will say about this verse, the Unitarians. But my own point is this: the only way it makes sense is that the Son was already inside. And by the way, when I say the Son, remember, the Son is not supposed to have any meaning. What most people will feel comfortable saying is Logos. Okay, so they will feel much more comfortable saying the Logos and the Spirit. Okay, so I asked this question in another video: that does the Father have Logos? His own Logos, his own word. If the word is Logos or wisdom, whatever you want to call it, if wisdom is Logos, does the Father have that individually? Does the Father have word or Logos? How was he speaking when there was that baptism stuff that you guys start talking about? If he didn't have his own word. So in a way, the Father has a Logos too. That's what I was trying to bring out in that other video. But my point is this: if the Son is the Word, let's not call him Son. Because when we say Son, we just understand one thing by Son. Let's give them Logos, okay? If the Logos, and I don't have that picture here, Tertullian. If you see what Tertullian understood by this, Tertullian was an early Christian theologian. What he understood by that procession stuff that later came into orthodoxy. Why is this pen not working? What's your problem? Okay, I'll show you a picture of what he taught. He was also a subordinationist. By the way, all the Trinitarians before Nicaea, all the major ones that were writing stuff, they were subordinationists. No doubt about that. Justin Martyr, Tertullian, Origen, Clement of Alexandria, all of them, they were subordinationists. Okay, let me show you. I don't know if you can see this, but what is it? Hey? Nah, you cannot see. Sorry. What? Why can't you see? Wait, let me see if I can put this light off. It's supposed to be clear. I don't want to mess up with these camera settings. Anyway, what he was saying is that Tertullian, he said this statement that, see, God is made up of some kind of substance, immaterial, kind of final, some kind of material substance, because he was Stoic. So this substance, God took out of that substance to make the Son, okay, and then to make the Holy Spirit. So he took a portion of himself from his own bosom, literally, and then made the Son and the Holy Spirit. And he didn't separate from his own body. So it's like an emanation. It's an emanation. But now that part of his essence, of his substance, is now allocated to the Son and the Holy Spirit. If you watch the other video I made, I've actually made a video about this, showing you what Tertullian, the image clearly. So that's what it makes sense. When you get to all these Nicaea parts, that's the language have already been destroyed by that time. The Son does not mean Son anymore. Begotten does not mean begetting anymore. Eternal generation does not mean eternal generation. Nothing has meaning anymore. Persons don't mean persons. Is it personal? Is it personal like modes? No, it's not modes. Is it like 3 human beings? No, it's not like 3 human beings. Is it like one human being that has 3 personalities? No, it's not like that. What is it like? What is it exactly? Nobody knows till this day. This is what these guys are dealing with. I'll share more of it with you guys. I don't want to make this too long. So, see you in another video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.